So I've come across an article in The Guardian saying that robots are going to be used as ways to reduce loneliness for the elderly in care homes. I don't know, I got a really bad feeling about it, personally. I really not, I don't have extreme views on things like utopia and dystopia, but it's not, it's far from utopia, completely far from it. Um, do you know, obviously it's a bit of a change of subject, but in the future, when everything around the world sorts itself out, you know, people in care homes or people who are lonely, is it really that difficult to what you could dedicate a couple of hours, a few hours a week of your time, go and spend some time talking to some of these folks? They'll gladly appreciate it. Literally, you talk to them about anything. They really do want that bonding, they appreciate that company. They've got so many stories themselves. Could you imagine the life lessons they could teach us, the things that they've experienced when they were in their youth? You know, it's like robots. Obviously, to me, it comes across like a form of amusement, but deep down, they're not going to have that real emotional connection. If I was an, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. But you're in a care home. Like my perception of this, you're in a care home. You see these robots presented to you. It comes across like it's entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, making its way to the stage, robots. Like, you know, can you really form like genuine like companionship? Because they're artificially formed. They're a machine that has been created. This robot is identical to an actual living organism. Sorry, I stutter sometimes because I've got a stammer. But if it's reciprocal of a living organism, fair enough. But I don't know. Technology, even though it's advanced so much, beyond our wildest imagination, they're inept in terms of having that true emotional thought process like we people do, we living organisms do. They don't. They're a machine. They're taught how to function. So you have a conversation with a robot that can talk to you. It's trained, it's mechanically processed to function how it's been programmed to do so. It's not going to use its own intuitive imagination of what somebody is thinking about or how somebody's feeling. It's trained how to operate. So that's I don't feel it truly benefits them being in care homes, basically, because they don't have that emotional connection. They're only trained to process how they've been mechanically put together, how this machine has been made. That's how they're programmed to work. And that's the experience people in these care homes are gonna, that's what they're gonna get, that's what they're gonna feel. I don't know. To me, it's a bad idea. But they're doing it because there's very limited options. I could imagine it's very, very lonesome, not being able to have close contact with loved ones and people that they care about, because it's a vulnerable situation they're in. Their immune systems are a lot vulnerable. That's why they're in these care homes. Obviously not just for that reason, but the stage that they are in their life, but their immune system at the stage that they are in their life is much more vulnerable. So, because of everything what's happening with the virus as well, it's, yeah. But yeah, that, most people will miss that, like, that touch, those emotional bonds, being away from that for so long. Like I said, it must be so frustrating. But it's I don't know, the idea of robots, it's not. What's next? In the future, how many other roles are going to be replaced with robots? With this, there's so many things now that have been digitized. A lot of these roles have been taken away from actual human beings doing them. They're digitized, there's a machine doing it instead of a human doing it. That's the problem. Potentially down the line. Transhuman activity. They are intelligent life forms that have been created, but it's a machine at the end of the day. It's not a natural living organism which can use its own intuition to form a much more solid emotional connection.